welcome back. Quick little public service announcement. I am so close, if not there, at almost 500 followers on Facebook and well over 200 on Instagram. The support you guys have been giving me has been unbelievable. So thank you again. And honestly, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I'm sure, I'm not underwhelmed, but mostly excited because for the most part, I literally am just doing this just because gardening is something that I'm passionate about. And I feel like a lot of people have some questions for people, but on Google, it's hard to find sometimes, especially if you're a Canadian, because when you Google something, usually the US answer comes up, which is fine, but in reality, that's not our growing climate. So what somebody's doing in Florida or Texas is not going to work in Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, British Columbia. So you have to be careful when you look up information. And then that sparked this idea. Let's talk gardening. Let there be a resource that is available to you to ask questions freely, follow along, laugh at me a little bit, and see my mistakes and my successes, and just know it's a place that you can come to and know that the advice that I'm giving is pertinent to your growing environment. Okay, so the last time I talked to you was in regards to seed organizing and seed inventory. So I finished my inventory here, which, yes, I know I have chicken scratch, but I'm a lefty, so I blame that. So I took a very close look at some inventory that I had. I start anything that I might need some more of, like kale, gourds, tomato seeds, cherry tomato seeds. I needed broccoli, rosemary, so forth and so on. And then I also have another list for flowers. I'm doing a little fun experiment this year where I'm making a larger garden box. Sorry, Ryan. And it's just going to be for cut flowers. I really do enjoy making bouquets, as you've probably seen following along on my personal account. If you haven't, I will show some pictures right now. I just love making bouquets, supplying friends and family and whoever might need them. So that's why I want extra flowers, because they're beautiful. So I have the list of things I need. So the first thing I usually get in the early New Year or in December, I guess, is the Vesey's catalog. To me, Vesey's, who is out of PI, has the best catalog. Everything is so aesthetically pleasing and laid out. I love that they give recommendations. It's just really, really great layout. So I do go there a lot. Over the years, you learn what seeds grow well for you and which don't. I also record that down. So I have a little journal. Let me get that for you. Hold on. I have a little journal. And in it, I will write like tomato seeds, 2020, sucked, didn't grow any. And so knowing that I maybe got one variety of that seed, I will avoid it and try to get another one. And then I'll try another variety, say in corn, I'll try Candace. And it does really well, then I'll know that's the one I should keep growing. Here's the tricky part in 2021. If you're gonna listen to any part of this video, any part of these videos, it's right now. The pandemic has made seeds become a hot commodity, so to speak. And everybody and their dog is gardening, as I've talked about before. And what's economics 101? Supply and demand. So I've noticed this year that seed prices have increased from a lot of resources or a lot of places. So be careful of that. Shop around. A lot of the seed companies all grow and supply the same seeds. And some of them are 25% higher in price than they were last year. So be conscious of that. Now there's some varieties you might be stuck with and that you obviously have to pay a little bit more for that. Let's talk seeds. So seeds are usually broken down in a few different ways. One, you will see they can be heirloom seeds, which means they are original to their ancestors. They're no changing. You can get treated seeds, which basically means that they have been treated with usually some kind of pesticide that keeps certain pests that are known to that plant away. You can also get organic seeds, which I try to avoid organic seeds because it's a little bit, in my opinion, of an excuse to put a higher price tag on something. You can get regular seeds untreated and they are basically organic, but they don't have the organic title on it, which makes them cheaper. So be careful of those terms. There's some vegetable seeds that you have to watch out for. Asparagus. Asparagus comes in roots, which is actually basically an established root that you just put into the ground and it starts growing asparagus right away. You can also buy actual asparagus seeds, which means that it's just literally a seed. It's not established, which is a lot harder to do. I recommend always, if you can with asparagus, make sure to buy asparagus roots. Asparagus roots, not asparagus seeds. Somebody's done that work for you, has dug up that root, given it to you, you plant it, you start growing asparagus already. The other way around, it takes a long time. The other one that's a little bit tricky, and I've talked about this one a little bit, is onions. Onions come in a couple different ways too. You can get onion seeds, which is exactly as it says. It's little tiny seeds. You start inside, but it's a lot harder to establish and to grow. So I try to avoid them in seeds. What you can do instead is actually grow onion sets. Let me see if I can see where it says sets. See? Onion sets, which basically they're these tiny little bulbs that look like a tiny little onion that you plant in the ground, root side down, and they grow and eventually become a nice big onion, just like that. And they're called sets. They're a lot easier to grow because you don't have to try to move them from your starts inside to your ground outside. And that transition can sometimes be very harmful to a root vegetable. Garlic's another tricky one to watch out for. So if you're like me, you've already planted your garlic in the fall and basically you don't have to do anything about it. Fall garlic. Do not buy fall garlic for spring planting. Yes, you can actually buy spring garlic and plant garlic in the spring as soon as the frost is out of the ground. I do not like growing spring garlic. This is just me personally. A lot of people do it because I don't find you get as big of a bulb as you do with fall garlic. It's a lot easier for it to rot in the spring too, whereas in the fall, it's kind of a little bit established. So something to look out for as far as that goes. There is one more that I want to talk about that I made the mistake of last year. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up your horses. Strawberries. Okay, this is the last one I will talk about for seed ordering part 1. There will be a part 2 because it's a big topic. So seeds, you can actually buy strawberry seeds, which is just basically those little tiny seeds, and you can germinate them inside and you're good to go, but good luck trying to get them to grow and outside in time. They're hard. They're not easy to grow inside, to be honest. Now, you can also buy strawberry seeds from somewhere like Fessie's, but they're actually not strawberry plants. These plants are actually just roots, which work to a point. So pay attention here. If you're going to buy strawberry plants, AKA they come as a root, be careful because when you put them in the ground, we experience a June that's got like 30-degree weather and no rain, those roots are not going to do well. They're likely going to die. So what do I do instead? Well, to avoid failure, because that's what happened to me last year. We ended up having a crazy hot June, lots of drought, not a lot of rain. A lot of my strawberry roots that I had established in my new strawberry patch died. So what I did instead is I found a nursery. There's a local one here in Carleton Place, actually, that Ramsey Creek. I really liked them. They supplied little tiny starter plants. These starter plants aren't the massive plant that you'll get into in a greenhouse. They're just little tiny starter plants. So they've done the work for you. And so because they're already established plants, they transition into your soil and start growing a lot better. Strawberries are one of my favorite things to grow. They're delicious and amazing, but be careful how you actually buy them. Into little plants, much better, higher success rate. You can actually physically see the leaf wilt, which means you don't need to water it, less chance of it dying, and I can't wait to grow more. Sorry I couldn't get to everything in this segment as far as seed ordering. I am going to show you online how I order my seeds and what to look for and what to avoid. It's not as simple and straightforward as some people assume. There are some red flags to look for and some things to look for that you want to make sure you gear your order towards to ensure your success and what seeds are going to suit you best. But for now, for part 1, this is all. If you have any questions about any of the things that I've mentioned, any fruits and vegetable seeds that you had questions about, I'd be happy to answer them. These are just a couple that stuck out in my head that I knew are a little bit tricky when ordering them. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you next time for seed ordering part 2. Bye.